Biden News Today. Biden attacks Trump, media in Detroit amid dropout calls. Obama and Pelosi have allegedly raised fears about Joe Biden's future as he battles to convince Americans and Democrats that he can challenge Trump in November. George Clooney's forthright op-ed and panicky appeals have urged Biden to drop out of the 2024 race and make space for a younger candidate after his poor presidential debate performance last month. As long as he wins, wealthy contributors are withholding $90 million. In an hour-long press conference with significant gaffes, viewed by 22.5 million Americans, more than the Oscars, the president swore to finish this job. On Friday, Biden told fans in Michigan, a must-win state, "I promise you, I'm okay." Trump's campaign fears Biden standing aside for a younger candidate, as age no longer matters and polling is positive. At the Butler County Farm Showgrounds in Pennsylvania on Saturday night, the former president could unveil his running mate. "I'm going to beat him again," Biden confidently asserted. In the battleground state, Joe Biden blasted Republican intentions to place Trump loyalists in the executive branch to impose extreme right-wing policies if he wins a second term on Friday. A day after hosting NATO's annual summit in Washington and a marathon press conference, the president rallied in Detroit, Michigan to reject calls for him to drop out of the 2024 election. He assured rallygoers, "I am running, and we're going to win." He insists he is the Democratic presidential nominee because he is the only Democrat or Republican who has beaten Donald Trump, ever. Governor Doug Burgum, Senators Tim Scott, Marco Rubio, and J.D. Vance made that cut. The former president said he hopes to name the next vice president before the start of next week's Republican National Convention, when he likely would get the party's presidential nomination. "I'd love to do it at the convention, or just slightly before the convention, which would be, or just barely before the convention, like Monday," he told the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show on Friday. He called Joe Biden incompetent during a rally last week, referencing his TV show. Former President Donald Trump called George Clooney a backstabber and a third-rate movie actor for his New York Times op-ed urging President Joe Biden to drop out of his re-election bid. Trump said Friday on the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show that Biden is courteous to Clooney, regardless of your opinion. Trump called the op-ed very disloyal, backstabber, third-rate movie actor on the program. On Friday, Trump said Clooney was a television actor and never made really a decent movie. His campaign is allegedly eager to keep Biden in the race since the former president may struggle to overcome a younger Democrat. That makes him third-rate. After praising George Clooney's scathing New York Times op-ed asking for the president's resignation, Michael Douglas said it's hard for him to picture Joe Biden serving another term. The 79-year-old Hollywood actor expressed his fears about Biden's re-election on the red carpet at the New York City screening of his upcoming documentary America's Burning. "It's a total 180 from his previous backing of the president, including hosting a Biden fundraiser in April. On Thursday night, Joe Biden held his much-anticipated Big Boy News conference on the margins of the NATO summit to allay concerns about his fitness to serve another term. In Thursday night's high-stakes briefing, the president answered 19 questions from 10 journalists and reiterated that he is the finest candidate to challenge Donald Trump in November. "I believe I am the most qualified presidential candidate. I defeated him once and will again," he said. "There's a long way to go this campaign, so I'll keep moving." The news conference concludes a vital 2 weeks for the 81-year-old president to convince American voters, fundraisers, and House and Senate Democrats that he should stay in the 2024 presidential race after his disastrous first presidential debate performance last month. After that night's performance, where he stumbled over his words, appeared fragile, and lost his train of thought, Biden has made several public appearances and high-stakes interviews. Instead of proving the discussion was a one-off, the president added to his gaffes. Here are Biden's newest mistakes since the terrible debate.